2 M.2 drives, 3 SATA drives. Where is my work files drive? Something to look into. But hey, CPU temp is great. I need a new workstation. Real-time sound work requires strong single-core, single-threaded performance, which Intel is known for, but AMD has largely caught up with them on that front, and they have superior multi-core performance. My music has a lot of parallel signal flow in it, so the extra cores really is the deal maker for me. Okay, so let's buy the CPU now, 3900X. Add to cart. Let's check out. What? Out of stock? I just added it to my cart. It's already awesome. It's out of stock in the time it took me to put it in the cart and get to checkout. That's wow. Wow. Okay, so we'll have to come back to that. My current workstation is housed in a Fractal Design Define R5 case. This is a Define R6. One thing I like about it is that it came with a lot of drive bays, but for this build, I'm having to pull them all out. For the CPU, I am going to be putting in an AMD Ryzen 9 3900X. Still out of stock. For the motherboard, I'm putting in a Gigabyte X570 Aorus Master. For the drive options and memory support, and a hefty VRAM certainly doesn't hurt. For RAM, I have 32 gigabytes of Corsair Vengeance LPX rated at 3600 megahertz. Pretty speedy, pretty tight timings as well. I will be moving over the video card of my current workstation, a GeForce GTX 1060, to this workstation, and I will also be moving over the Sound Blaster ZX sound card. For storage, this workstation's first 2 drives is a pair of Corsair MP510s. They are NVMe SSDs at 1 terabyte apiece. They're fast enough to saturate a PCIe 3 bus, so they're pretty darn quick. One will be my system drive, and the other one will be my scratch drive. Haven't had one of those before. Scratch drive will save wear and tear on the other drives and will help with working with very large files. Drives 3 and 4 is a pair of Western Digital Blue SATA 3 SSDs at 500 gigabytes apiece. One will be for storing sound files and libraries. It's very useful to have sound libraries load quickly in music software. And the other one will be for miscellaneous files that really need fast access times, but I don't want to put on the system drive. And for storage of work files, my music and video projects, I am installing a 4 terabyte Seagate hard drive. And for the 6th drive, I will be moving over the 2 terabyte hard drive from my current workstation. That'll be for personal non-work files. This will be the first computer I've built that does not have an optical drive. Also a first, I will be using external hard drives. I have a pair of Western Digital Passport Ultra hard drives, 4 terabytes each. One will be used as work file backup, and the other one will be a copy of that backup. And to power this workstation, I have a Corsair RM850X power supply rated at 850 watts. It is also gold rated, so it is very efficient and quiet. The only way you're going to get fingerprints on these particular parts that are covered with this shit is by taking off the stuff that's supposed to keep fingerprints from being on it. Otherwise, there's no reason to have your finger anywhere near them. Okay, is that it? That's it? All right. motherboards have always been a bugger to mount, because it's tough to get the first one to line up, the hole. And then halfway through, you find that, oh, this other guy doesn't line up either. The last one on this side is in the corner, which is always fun, because you can't quite get your fingers in there. I just lose the screw. So it kind of sucks when you can't see. You've got to do it by feel, but the features are so small. I don't know, I can't find the hole. Skip it, go on to the next. Oh, that one's fun. That's underneath the heatsink, Gigabyte. That's not okay. There's a hole in the heatsink, so I just have to drop it in the hole and hope it lines up right and go from there. For purposes of the video, I'm going to pretend that went in. I'll fix it off camera. People don't need to see me struggling trying to get these damn screws in. Another first for me is water cooling my PC. With 12 cores, the CPU will generate a lot of heat under load. I'm joking. That works pretty well. Channeling my inner midlife crisis, I've spent way too much money on water cooling parts, including an EK ResX reservoir and pump combination for circulating fluid through the system, an XSPC Raystorm CPU water block for soaking up the heat generated by the CPU. And between the CPU and that is going to be some Thermal Grizzly Cryonaut thermal paste for its excellent heat transfer capacity. And to get rid of all the heat, I've got here an EK Coolstream XE triple fan radiator. That's a mouthful. Twice as thick as a normal radiator for better heat dissipation capacity. That's going to go where those drive bays were that I removed from the case earlier. And on either side of the radiator, I'm going to be mounting EK Vardar high static pressure fans to push air through those hot fins. Pulling it all together, a whole lot of brass fittings. Individually, they're pretty expensive. Together, that's where a lot of my money went. And those fittings will be holding black rubber hose in place. Most people choose clear tubing so they can see their fancy colored fluid circulating through the system, but I don't have a window on my computer case, so black rubber, easier to maintain. I don't see the fluid anyway. Speaking of fluid, I have some, I think this is from XSPC as well, anti-corrosive and biocide coolant, and some distilled water to top it off if I need to. That stovetop needs cleaning, but right now I'm cleaning the radiator. It needs to be cleaned out before its first use. I've already got some vinegar in there, so I'll be putting in some hot water and swish it around. It'll get out those particles that can be, yeah, it's hot. Watch what I'm doing. Particles that can be still in the tubing from the manufacturing process, since these are soldered together, welded together, soldered. I'm actually not sure which, but this will take care of all the crap that may still be inside. Oh, those fins work. This is pretty hot to the touch. Okay, let's see what comes out. I have a bowl, something to catch the gunk in if there's any in there. Let's see what comes out. Looks pretty clean. Looks like these guys actually did a good job making sure they shipped a clean radiator. I'll rinse it out with just plain distilled water to get that vinegar out, and then I guess start with assembly. Come on. I need to be new. Off by pin again? Ah!